All right, let's talk about something kind of weird that happens in even the best data teams. It's this paradox where having more smart people looking at a problem somehow means that no one actually ends up solving it.
You've been there, right? You're in a dashboard review, and bam, a glaring error just pops up on the screen. You hear that little collective gasp, everyone kind of nods like, yep, that's not right, and then the meeting just moves on. A week later, guess what? The error is still there. How does that happen? Well, it turns out there's a really powerful psychological reason for it.
And it has a name, the Bystander Effect. It's a surprisingly simple idea. Basically, when we're in a group, our personal sense of responsibility just gets diluted. We see a problem, and our brain doesn't immediately jump to, I need to fix this. Instead, it whispers, I'm sure someone else will get to it.
Now, this isn't just some abstract concept from a psychology textbook. This little cognitive bias has found a really cozy and frankly dangerous home right inside the world of data and analytics.
See, in a data team, it translates into this one little thought. Someone else will handle the quality control. That one assumption, that's the silent killer of data integrity. You look at a team huddled around a dashboard and you think, great, so many eyes on this, it must be perfect. But what might actually be happening is that every single person is assuming someone else is doing the hard work of checking the numbers.
And it's wild how that one tiny assumption can cascade into a total disaster. I mean, it's like dominoes. It starts with an inaccurate dashboard. That leads to misleading insights. Then, before you know it, your executives are making huge decisions based on completely unchecked, faulty data. And when things inevitably break, it takes forever to fix them, and pretty soon, nobody trusts the data team anymore. All from that one little thought.
Okay, so the big question is, how do you catch this thing before it does real damage? Let's talk about the red flags, the warning signs that the bystander effect might be creeping into your team's culture.
Let's get practical. How can you actually tell if this is a problem for your team? Luckily, the signs are usually pretty clear if you know what you're looking for.
Does any of this sound familiar? You know that feeling when tasks just get pushed from one meeting to the next, to the next? Or when a data incident is flagged and it just sits there in the backlog with no owner? That's a huge sign. Frequent project delays, a sense that your QC process just isn't catching what it should. These are all symptoms of a team where responsibility has been spread so thin it's basically disappeared.
Okay, so we know what the problem is, we know the warning signs. Now for the good part, how to fix it. And the good news is, you can absolutely fight back against this bias. You just have to be intentional about it.
It really comes down to a super simple but powerful three-step framework. First, just get rid of the ambiguity. Clearly define who owns what. No gray areas. Second, you have to make that ownership visible to everyone, using things like accountability charts. And third, you hold regular check-ins where people have to actually report on their specific areas of ownership. It kind of forces action.
And just look at the difference here. This is the transformation we're talking about, right? You go from that messy, confusing state on the left, where responsibility is just this vague cloud, to pinpointed accountability on the right. Ambiguous roles become clearly defined duties. You literally change the team's default setting from somebody else will do it to this is my job.
And hey, if you want a few more practical tools to throw in your toolkit, we've got you. Automating processes can take human assumption right out of the loop. Public ownership tables, like a simple chart, make it impossible to hide. Oh, and here's a great one, rotating quality control roles. This way, everyone feels the pressure of being the final line of defense at some point. It builds empathy and ownership across the whole team.
So after all that, what is the one thing you absolutely need to remember from this? What's the key takeaway?
It really boils down to this crazy idea. The very thing that's supposed to be your biggest strength, having a whole team of smart people, could actually become a massive vulnerability. That collective presence can make each individual feel less responsible, not more.
But here's the thing, and this is the really important part. The solution is not to have fewer people looking at the data. We want more collaboration, more peer review, not less. The fix is just to add a layer of structure on top of it so that every single person, every pair of eyes, knows exactly what their job is.
So I'm going to leave you with a question to take back to your team, to your next stand-up meeting. Look at your most important dashboard, your most critical data pipeline, and ask this: who is the owner? Really? Can you name a person? Because if the answer is everyone, well, then the answer is probably no one.